Swift arrays are ordered lists, meaning that the position of each element is determined by the order it was added. So let's create our first array here. We'll try to bring this down for more space. Now we'll give it a var list of teachers. Now let's give it a type of a string array. We could have an integer array as well. Now we could actually initialize this to be an empty array. So that means this empty of no value is a type of string. So it's not going to take an integer. So we should understand what we're saying. We could also declare a variable this way, an array this way, a list of schools. Let me give it another variable. Now we could do something of this nature. Let's take away this. Schools could do something of this nature. Array. We call array. We use the anchor bracket. We pass a string. We close it. We initialize that just like a new array of string. Close that and give a parenthesis. So we've set up another way to declare an array of a list of schools. All right. So now we're going to stick with the first, which is the list of teachers. Let's create arrays this way. We could use string, we could use integer if we determine as we want. Now let's populate values into our array. We could go this way by saying list of teachers equals. So we're going to give teachers names, Mike, Karma, John, and Peter. All right. Now we've actually embedded our array with values. We have Mike, John, and Peter. So all these values, all the string values will be added to the list of teachers. So we could manipulate an array, could do some things like getting the count of the items, dot count, how many items do you have in this array. We could also test if this array is empty, list of teachers dot is empty. That's going to return a boolean. So for the count, we should have just probably 3. If it's empty, it's false because it's not empty. Now let's access the values from this array, and we're going to do it this way. First of all, create a variable. We'll call it science teacher. And now I'm going to actually pick a value from the list of teacher array, called list of teachers. This is how you're going to do it. Pass the index. Now an array starts from the index 0 down. So the first, the index of 1 will be John. Get it? So because it starts from 0. So that's just the way to call out a value from the array. Now let's manipulate this particular array. List of teachers. Now we call on the second index. That's index 2, which is the third now. We set another value to it. Let's set another name called Raymond. Now, list of teachers is actually going to have Mike, John, and Raymond. Now let's append a value. Let's insert into our array. I'll call on list of teachers dot. Let me do a print statement over here. Print list of teachers. Now we're going to append another name. So we could do it this way. We're going to append a name called Bamidele. So that's going to come to the last item, because that's the last that came in into the list of teachers. So we could also populate an array this form. We could use the plus equals to Estos. We're adding more. Bola. Now we're having more values in our list of teachers. All right. Now, you could also insert at a particular index. So we're going to use this. Insert. I want to insert value. This is the teacher. Now you use the insert a name called Femi. At what index? Come on. At the index of 3. You get it? So it's going to actually read 0, 1, 2, 3. At that point in time, it's going to insert that value, Femi, into this array. Now you could as well remove. Let's get to run this. Okay, it's coming up. It's still going to run. We're going to run this at a time so that we could be able to follow along with the results we're having. Depends on the machine. Now you're going to have another one, list of teachers. And now we're going to remove at a particular index, which is at index 1. So it depends. At what point are you removing? At what point are you adding? So at index 1, we're going to remove a value, which is Mike. It's going to go off from the list. You could also order and query a value. Depends on how you want it. I could do funky things. You could say speed it out. Now you've removed John. You've removed Mike. John rather, because it starts from 0 to 1. Now you have the value Bamdele came in into the array list. We have Festus, we have Bola, which was also added. So if you could follow along, just look at the results, you'll understand what we're doing right there. Cool. So now let's move further. Let's get to reverse the list. List of teachers. Go reverse it like in the descending order. Now it's going to actually start from the last item, which is Bola, down. So cool. We could also pass a reverse list or a list to another variable. Let's just put it that way. A list to another variable. So it could be reversed or not. Now let's give it another variable. Reversed teacher equals to list teachers reversed. Now we're going to reverse that and we'll save that to a variable called reversed teacher. I hope you understand that. At the same time, we could also sort list teachers. Let's sort them out. What else can we do? We could also pass the sorted list to another variable. Could do this way. Variable sorted teacher equals to list of teacher dot sorted. Cool. So all the same, we could also test if our list contains a value. List of teachers. Let's test if it contains the name Bola, which it does. So it's going to actually tell us true. So we could manipulate our list with different tags, different methods Let's create a 2D array and a subscript. List of teachers with teachers. Let's create a 2D array. How are we going to do that? You see it in the Chiefy. var skills course. Let's give a type of string. Now equals to fine. Now let's tidy it up. We're going to have the first one called fight. The second one called dribble. That's skills. The third one called throw. Now the second array is a 2D. Another skill called shake. Another one called run. The last one called fly. Fine. So that's it. That's a 2D array of 3 items, 0, 1, 2. And we have that. So let's try to retrieve value from this particular 2D array. Let's give a variable called find skill. Now we call skills. We're going to give the first array the second item, the item at index 2. So what do you think is going to be? Let's print out print find skill. At the same time, let's print out the list of teachers. All right, for timing, now we're trying to find in the first array, which is 0 index, and we're finding an item of the second item as of second index. So we have to count 0, 1, 2. So it's actually going to be true. So this find skill value will be true. Let's get to wait for this to run so that I could actually see completely what we have. And it's coming up. Could actually do a manual run. So coming up, it's actually going to do at the right time. But invariably, this is just how to go about array manipulation. You initialize, you create an array. We pass values into the array, Mike, John, Peter. We use some methods on the array, like to count number of items in the array. We test if it's empty or not. We try to retrieve values from the array. This is the array of index 1, which is John. At index 2, we pass in remode, like inserting into the array. We print out the lists. At the same time, we append, like inserting as well. You append BAMD, which is going to be at the last. I will also append using another form, using the operators plus equals to. So we're adding this to the array. We also print out. Now we're testing, we're inserting another value at a particular index, not just at the back of the index of the array. Now this is at the particular index of 3. So we put it there. We're also removing an item from the array, specific item at index 1. We're reversing the list of the array starting from Bola, which is actually like coming from the behind to the first. We are also we're passing the reverse list into another variable, just like passing an array into a new variable. And at the same time, we sort that out in alphabetical order. So you're going to have it. BAMD comes first. At the same time, we pass the sorted list into another variable, and we test if our list contains a name called Bola, which is true, we'll print out the list. What we have Bamidele, Bola, Femi, Festus, Mike, and Raymond. Okay. Now we create a 2D array, which is actually going to have two arrays in a particular variable in a particular array of string, which will have hide, dribble, throw. The second array is shake, run, and fly. And we actually extract value from it, which depicts this the way you're gonna do. So 2D array, and it's going to be the first array, which is 5 dribble throw, and we're pulling out this the second index, which is 5 dribble 01 throw. Now throw is the value, and we'll print that out into the console. So these are different ways where we could use it manipulating an array. Array is a building blocks to real programming. You're going to use it a lot when it comes to you dealing with real life scenario. So I will implore you to put a listening here, also practice on how to get yourself acclimatized with the use of array in Swift. In the next video, we'll be talking about Swift dictionaries. So don't go anywhere.